Hello, this is Adrian, aka Actual Dracula, and welcome to the show. This is the very first episode of my new show, my new art show, which I am calling Blood In, Ink Out. And if you're here watching, thank you, appreciate it. And you're probably wondering, well, what is this? What's this show all about? And that's what we're here to find out. Really. Now this first episode is really just gonna kind of serve as an introduction to some of the ideas I have for this show. It's very much just a mound of clay at the moment, and it's something that's going to be evolving as I continue to do these things. It will start to take form, and I'll have a better idea as I go along. And so this first episode is basically, as I said, it's an introduction. I'm gonna be talking about what are some of my ideas for this show going forward. Why do I want to do this show? What are some of the other, videos or channels that influenced me to kind of do a show like this? I'll talk about that a little bit. But first and foremost, as you can see, I've got a drawing I'm working on here, and that's really where this all starts. I am an artist, and wanted to do a show that kind of showcases that my artwork, the process, as well as talking about art in general, not only my art but other artists. And really the kind of impetus for this, or the catalyst, is that I in addition to watching a lot of comic book content here on YouTube, I watch a lot of other artists, whether it be tutorials. I do watch quite a bit of those, but also just artists talking about their life as an artist, their careers. I've got a lot of great advice over the past year or so, just listening to other artists talk about that. So that was definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to make a show like this, was to not so much give advice or tutorials, because although I've been an artist pretty much my whole life, I am not quote unquote a professional artist. I don't do this as my day job, whereas a lot of these channels I'm watching, they are doing it. They've made a career out of it. Whereas for myself, I spent many years kind of away from the drawing board, not really creating that much, or at least not creating anything that had much of in the way of a focus or a defined path to it. A lot of more abstract stuff, just really, when we can put it as just kind of fucking around, But now I have, ideas of where I really want to go with my art, and I have more of, more focused, for sure, and more of a defined path, although not fully defined. One of the reasons I want to do this is to, as I kind of set goals for myself, I want to use this as a record, as a document, for myself, saying, look, this is what I want to set out to do, and this is going to give me, by putting it out there, that's not necessarily further motivation, but it's just saying, hey, I said I'm going to do this, so I better do it. And also just because I don't have, as I said, this show is kind of just more of a loose jumble of ideas at the moment, which kind of reflects where I am with my art at the moment as well. But as I start to draw more, learn more, paint more. I think some of my goals are going to become more clearly into focus, and I think the show will follow that path as well. At least that's the idea. But right now, for the moment, it's just I'm gonna be kicking some stuff around, throwing some stuff at the walls and seeing what sticks, which applies both to artwork as well as to the show itself. So as you can see here, I've got this Nightwing piece that I'm working on, this commission. It's just an 11 by 17, comic book style page and pin-up, cover, whatever you want to call it. It is a cover homage, and I will talk about this piece more towards the end of the episode. And I just realized I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just kind of waving my hands around. That's okay. I'm just, as I said, this first episode is very lucid. I didn't have much of a plan for it, so I'm not even really drawing right now. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts, figure out what I want to say. But the plan with future episodes is, I will be drawing or painting, depending on what it is I'm working on. I do want to have episodes where I have the full process of a piece from start to finish. This, of course, is like halfway through, but there will be, and you will see that. You'll see maybe I'll just be working on something that's kind of half finished, and I'll just want to talk about something, and so I'll be recording while working on that. But there will be, full start to finish pieces. Now, the show is called Blood in Ink Out, so there will be some ink involved. Whether it is doing comic book style inking such as this, or just some other ink drawings, whether it be with a pen or brush or quill, you're gonna see all of that. But it won't just be inking. It won't just be purely comic book style stuff. There will probably be there will be some other mediums involved, including painting, and definitely digital stuff, as well as over the past few years I've been working a lot digitally, primarily with Procreate. So there's definitely going to be a mix of traditional and digital stuff. And in terms of me kind of just filming myself drawing or painting, whatever it may be, I think every episode is going to be a little different in that it might just be me drawing, or maybe not even drawing, just kind of waving my hands in front of a drawing when I should actually be working on it. But it could just be me working on a piece and then just talking about something totally unrelated. That's entirely possible. And then other times it may be me talking about the actual thing I'm working on, whether it's techniques I'm trying to figure out, or maybe, I don't want to say tutorials, or really, maybe just some tips and tricks I might have. I don't know. Again, I'm more learning myself than anything else, so I can definitely point your way to some fantastic tutorials, and in terms of other artists and other YouTube channels. But I'm definitely not going to put myself out there as, hey, if you want to learn how to become a great artist, watch what I'm doing. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. But you never know. There may be some stuff that I end up doing that, if I have something that I think will be helpful for others, I will absolutely try and convey that, maybe get that across somehow. I think a lot of it, though, will be me just reiterating stuff I've learned from other artists. But hey, for the most part, even for primarily self-taught artists, it's all coming from somewhere else anyways. It's also entirely possible that I will bring on guests in future episodes. Definitely thinking about doing that. Other artists who, maybe we can be drawing at the same time, or maybe not even drawing at all, maybe just talking about art. Who knows? We'll see we'll see where this goes. Like I said, this is just kind of a formless, shapeless mound of clay, and we're gonna try and I don't know, build something out of that, something with form and content. And that being said, I'm not really a sculptor, so I'm just using that as a metaphor. I'll be drawing and painting, pretty much. Not much in the way of sculpting, but we're gonna sculpt the show using those tools. And so, really, as I said, what made me want to do a show like this, aside from just wanting to, have some content to put on my YouTube channel, the thing is, this is one of the reasons why I have not been making much content for this channel, is that I've been just so focused on my artwork over the past year. It's really before that, I started this channel in 2020, and that first year and a half, a lot of my free time was spent either making YouTube videos or thinking about the videos I was gonna make. But that was around the same time that I really got back into drawing as well. It all coincided with me getting back into collecting comics and discovering and becoming part of this incredible comic book community. And getting to meet other artists, whether like me, people who just were doing it as a hobby, or professionals as well, getting to meet other artists and talk about art with them. It's really, that's really been really inspiring. And yeah, it's definitely kept me motivated to keep creating stuff myself. And that's not entirely true, because actually, once I kind of got the ball rolling, and I there was this, I guess, initial spark of creativity. Once it kind of got going, it's really all I've been wanting to do since. So that was the point I was getting back to, actually, was that kind of first year and a half of YouTube. I was definitely much more focused on making videos, creating content. But as I really started to focus on artwork more, that really, my focus shifted to the artwork, which left me less and less time for making YouTube videos. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for that at all, because as much as I like making YouTube, making videos, this is really my number one thing. This is my passion, so at least this way, it allows me to combine them both. If I'm gonna be making art, I can make a video at the same time as well. So that was one of the major reasons for wanting to do a show like this, as well as just really been inspired by a lot of other YouTube channels and other artists, and really it was my initial idea for this show. Kind of the direction I want to take this show is sort of kind of a combination of a bunch of other channels and artists that I really admire, and basically want to steal their ideas from. Just the other channels that influence me. And I'll go over some of those people in greater detail in future episodes. But off the top of my head, a few that really have inspired me to do this. Number one would be David Finch, who of course is a phenomenal comic book artist. He's worked for Marvel, DC, fairly big name artist, well known, Canadian to boot. But he has an excellent YouTube channel where he has probably some of the best comic book art tutorials out there on YouTube, as well as his drawing live streams. So he does every week a Monday night draw where he will live stream him working on a piece, and sometimes it's just him by himself, but he often has guests, other artists who will be working on something as well. And I really love those shows, especially because, you can learn a lot just watching them. You learn how David works, but also because you get to see he uses those Monday night draw shows as an opportunity to work out new techniques that he's learned from other artists, and that's really inspiring because David Finch is consummate professional. He's like, in terms of comic book artists working today, I think he's absolutely one of the best. I'd put him up there with Jim Lee, no problem, especially in terms of how quickly and efficiently he works. It's really quite something. But to see him always experimenting and trying new things, I really love that. So David Finch's channel, that was a huge inspiration for this show, for where I want to go with this show. And then and so that's that plays into the sort of somewhat tutorial, but more like experimenting and playing around with things idea. That's one chunk of what I want this show to be. And then another channel that I really am inspired by is Lucid Pixel, which is a channel run by an artist called Adam Duff. Now, Adam Duff, he's an artist who, with many years in the video game industry, I guess concept art as well, and I think now he primarily just teaches art courses, but he has many years working as an artist in the video game industry. And I really love his channel, where he will, oftentimes it's just him drawing something, sometimes not drawing anything at all, right? But it is an art, the focus of his channel is art, and more specifically the trials and tribulations of life, having a life and having a career as an artist, and not just an artist working in, say, video games or concept art or comics. It can apply to just anyone, really, in any creative, working in a creative field and working in that sort of things you might face as an artist in general. And so that's another big inspiration for the direction I want to go with this channel. I can't promise that I will be as eloquent or as well spoken as Adam is. I'm just not much of a big talker like that. When I'm drawing in particular, I'm just either listening to music or listening to a podcast or something, not really talking while I'm drawing. As you can see, I have not been drawing at all this whole time because I'm just kind of figuring out what it is I want to try and say here. But you know what? That's something that I'm also gonna have to try and. That's something I want to experiment with, primarily with the next several episodes, upcoming episodes, is seeing, how it's almost like juggling in a way, is trying to work on something while talking about it, and that is where we're going to experiment with that a little, because I might just draw and then record the audio afterwards, which you actually see a lot of other artists do on YouTube. right now all I'm doing is, again, I'm not really drawing. This is just to have something in the background while I talk. So that's something I'm going to play around with because, yeah, you know, I can make some marks here and talk at the same time, kind of, sort of, but I do find it's a little bit like juggling, and that I will lose my train of thought because I just get, and this is I don't know, let me know if this is true for you, if while you're drawing or making something, if you find it difficult to hold a conversation about something in particular, like I'm already starting to lose my train of thought just doing this. But again, we'll talk about that in another episode. You're gonna hear, you're hearing a lot of that now. It's like, well, we'll talk about that in a future episode because, yeah, again, this is just serving as an introduction. So again, I'm just gonna put that down. I'm just gonna I don't want this to go on too long. I'm gonna kind of wrap this up shortly. But yeah, kind of the inspirations for this. In terms of the directions I want to take this show, you know, again, David Finch, his Monday Night Draws, that kind of idea of, hey, let's just draw something, and it could be, again, playing around with new techniques. I really like that aspect of it, of his show. Lucid Pixel, Adam Duff, who he also gets very personal at times. Maybe there will be some of that, I don't know, but if you guys haven't checked out Lucid Pixel, highly recommend him, and that'll give you kind of an idea of maybe where I want to take the direction of some videos. You know, and in addition to those channels, you know, there's lots of other channels and artists that I, you know, watch regularly now, and I'll definitely be talking about them again in future episodes, you know. But for example, I can just throw some names out there. You know, Ink Pulp Podcast, that's another great one. That's more of just a straight up podcast style show, where, you know, they talk about working as an artist and comic book industry and things like that. Really great show. Ink Pulp Podcast. Another one I really like is Color with Kurt, where he does live stream of him, his whole digital coloring process, coloring comic book pages. Really fantastic channel. Amazing colorist. That you can learn a lot there. You know, he's got a lot of great tutorials, and as I said, he live streams his process, and you learn a lot during those live streams. And yeah, so I'll be talking about channels I really like, but those ones I named are definitely, those are a few of the ones that really inspired me to make my own kind of art show like that. Kind of I'm gonna have this be sort of a melting pot where I can throw all those kind of those shows and what they bring to the table, kind of throw those all together and see if I can pull things from those that I like just to incorporate into my own show. Or maybe not, who knows? Maybe this won't be anything like any of those guys. That's entirely possible, because again, I can only approach this from my own from the, I guess, experiences that I have myself. And yeah, I think first and foremost, I kind of want this to serve sort of as a journal for myself, in that it's going to, you guys are going to be coming along with my art journey with me, which I'm sure if you've watched any artists on YouTube, you've probably heard something like that before. It's a little cliche, but you know what? It's true, especially as someone who does not work professionally, you know, and we'll talk about that word as well, which you know, it's a bit loaded. You know, what does professional mean? Is it as simple as I make something and you pay me money for it? Sure, yeah, that could be it. but I think it's we'll definitely do some deeper dive on concepts like that for sure. Anyways, before I get ahead of myself, I guess really my goal, I'll be talking about my goals as an artist, and primarily the primary one I'll tell you right now is that I do want to work as a professional artist, in the sense that I would love for making something like this to be my day job, which it currently is not. I do have a job I like. I am a woodworker. I work full-time as a cabinet maker, have been doing so for over 10 years now, and although I do like it, but getting back into making art, I guess more seriously, has definitely made me realize that, that's it's not necessarily that I should have been doing this all along. I have absolutely no regrets with where I am in terms of my career, because I've learned a whole other set of skills. Some could say truly useful skills. Instead of just being able to draw Nightwing on a rooftop, I don't know how useful that actually is. Now, I think I can't actually build a rooftop myself. I don't know how to do that, but I can build you a kitchen. I do that all the time. Anyhow, I do like what I do, but I also know I don't want to do it forever. It can be a physically demanding job. It can be a mentally demanding job as well. But really the point I'm trying to make is that getting back into making art more seriously, it's only really furthered this kind of feeling I have that this is what I want to be doing. If not full-time, certainly as much as possible. So ultimately, one of the things I really want this series to serve as is, like I said, a journal or document of not only, say, the process of a piece like this, but the process of maybe becoming a professional artist, in some capacity, whatever that may end up being, as time goes on. And it will be me, like I said, I'll be setting goals for myself, and letting you guys know what those goals are, and you're gonna watch me struggle to reach those goals. I think you're gonna see a lot of struggling here, but it wouldn't be it's not possible to get to the places I think I want to go without struggle. That's you can't grow without that. That's what growth is. So that's I don't know what else to say about that at the moment, because like, again, we'll go into this in much greater detail in a later episode. I think my intro thing is kind of over. I had ideas, I'm sure, but I didn't really write anything down. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that in terms of what's this show gonna be. You know what? We're gonna find out together. You're gonna find out more in the next episode, and so if you want to know what that is, you just gotta watch and subscribe if you haven't. That way you'll know when a new video comes out. Right, and before I wrap this up, you know what? I'll just talk about this for a little bit. That you guys have just been kind of staring at. The idea was I was going to be working on this as I talked, but that didn't end up happening. Like I said, I didn't want to lose track of what it was I was going to say in this video. I lost track of it anyways. I forgot about all the I'm sure I forgot a bunch of points I wanted to hit. It doesn't matter. There's that's what future episodes are for, guys. All right, this is just the intro of Blood In, Ink Out, and but yeah, if you're at all curious about this piece right here, this is a commission I'm doing for actually fellow YouTuber JP Collects. Go check out his channel if you're not familiar. He is also the co-host of one of my favorite game shows here on YouTube, Comicories, along with John's Comics with Kids. Two great channels. Anyhow, JP, he this was a commission. I actually auctioned off a commission during C3 Comics Curing Cancer, a charity event that took place here on YouTube in October. And so I auctioned off an 11x17 commission, and he said he wanted Nightwing, and more specifically, he wanted Nightwing in an homage to Web of Spider-Man issue 1, which is right here. This, of course, is by Charles Vess, the original cover. I think this is really an iconic Spider-Man cover. I've always really loved it. Of course, Charles Vess is more renowned, I guess, is like a fantasy style artist, but he did do a bunch of Spider-Man covers, probably some other comic books as well. I'm really not too sure. I'm really only familiar with his Spider-Man stuff and then like his fantasy stuff. But I thought this was a great choice because I've always loved this cover, and it's really it is an iconic cover, but it's one that has not been homaged to death. So when JP said he wanted an homage of this cover, but with Nightwing, I was like, yes, that's a fantastic idea. I love it. Yeah, really, really great opportunity here for myself, and that I get to do an homage that really, again, I have not seen too many homages to this cover, so that's fantastic. And yeah, so I've just been kind of chipping away at it because it's, again, inking's been something that I've really been trying to improve on. I've been working so much digitally over the past year that it actually takes me longer to do something like this, but I'm trying to kind of speed up the whole process. And with this, I was working really kind of from loose pencils. I had basically just the outline and the kind of the shading. I was like, I'll just figure it out as I go along. And so I was kind of playing around with different ideas for the inking. And but you know what, I'm almost, and there's some areas I need to fix still, but I kind of more or less landed on where I wanted to. And yeah, I pretty much kept it, as an homage. I made a few changes. I did make Nightwing more prominent. I feel like Spidey's kind of small on this cover. It's I wanted Nightwing to be more prominent, and I also had to I had to kind of make him bigger proportionally because I wanted to do some more cool, like more detailed gargoyles. I wanted the gargoyles to be a focal point as well, but I didn't want them to overshadow Nightwing, so I kind of blew him up a little bit. And yeah, that's about it in terms of where I wanted to go with this piece. And yeah, so like I said, in future episodes, you'll see me actually drawing this stuff. But for now, if you want to see the finished piece of this, be sure to follow me on Instagram, and I'll definitely post this when it's finished. If I still have it with me, I might even show it in the next video, who knows. But for sure, follow me, Actual Dracula, on Instagram, because that's going to be the best way to see finished pieces that I'm working on in these videos, because they may not necessarily, again, it may just be you might just get to see a chunk, you might just get to see you might just get to see part of the process. Who knows? So what am I doing? What am I saying? Yeah, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to me on YouTube, and that's it. I'm just gonna end this here. And but thank you guys for checking out the first episode of this show. I think it's hopefully hasn't been too much of a train wreck. Next episode, I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. I have some ideas. It's probably going to be, but hopefully a little bit more structured than this one. But maybe not. You never know. You never know with me, guys. That's what Actual Dracula's all about. Who knows? I'm kind of just a hippy dippy kind of dude, man. No, I'm not a hippie. Please edit that out. Yeah. But yeah, right. Can I just end this thing? End it. Alright, so, but that's it, so yeah, thank you, thank you everyone for checking out this first episode. Anyways, I've gotta, so I don't even know, alright, I don't even know what I just said last. My idea was to just record this thing in one shot, but it looks like I'm gonna have to cut this up and edit it all together, because I've just kind of been all over the place. But yes, anyhow guys, thanks for checking out the first episode. If you liked it, hit the like button, leave a comment below. Absolutely, let me know your thoughts on you think you're gonna watch this show or what? I don't know, you tell me. But yeah, I think that'll do it. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.